you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, there are things that makes official. Welcome to the big show. For 16 years, going on 17, and nearly 2,100 episodes, we bring in the Chris Voss Show. And yeah, that's it. Oh, we just been doing it. So I don't know what that means or why I'm telling you that. We just make up shit on the ramble, and I don't have anything. So I'm just rambling. The ramble is the ramble. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss, one of the TikTokity, and all those crazy places on the internet you can find people. Today we have a returning guest. So we interviewed him in October for the launch of his new book. We're going to be talking about his new mushroom coffee company that is launching on Black Friday 2024. For those of you watching this 5-10 years from now, somebody was commenting on a video of ours from 2012. It's kind of interesting. The other day, we get that a lot. And they're always like, hey, this isn't new anymore. And you're like, yeah, do you look at the dates on the video? So we have G.C. Brown returning on the guest with us today. His latest book just hit the shelves in October called Sniff. The Sniff, Smoke, and Shoot series. We're going to be talking to him about his newest venture that he's got called, I believe it's UpCup Koffee. That's launching on Black Friday, so you can catch it and get it before they sell at the inventory. G.C. Brown came from a farm in small town Indiana to the diamond fields of Africa and to federal prison, back in the States, and everywhere in between. He's just been on tour, really. He's just doing the tour. Now from his home in California, where he lives with his wife, 2 sons, and their brand spanking new identical twin boys, he's balancing babies, books, and business. His new book, Sniff, is the book 1 in the Sniff, Smoke, Shoot series, in his debut novel. Taken by storm, book 1 in the Mason Storm series about a champion MMA fighter turned West Palm Beach detective, is due out in March of 2025. Welcome to the show, GC. How are you, sir?
Great. Thank you for having me. Good to be back again.
Good to have you as well. Boy, you sure came back quick. So give us your .coms. Where do you want people to find you on the interwebs?
Okay, so for the book stuff, it's gcbrownbooks.com, gcbrownbooks.com. And the coffee, a functional mushroom coffee, brand new, is UpCup Koffee with a K.com.
And so give us a 30,000 overview of the book and then, of course, the coffee company now.
Okay, so the book, obviously I wrote it while in federal prison. Had never written anything in the past. Went to prison, and for various white-collar crimes they claimed, I was offered a 3-year plea, went to prison, didn't take the plea, went to prison, or lost trial, went to prison, and did 16. While I was there, I took up writing. It was the only thing that I could do from there. I had the pleasure of being in federal prison with bank robbers and drug lords and politicians and billionaires and millionaires and professional athletes and all these different types of characters, pimps, pedophiles, everybody you could think of.
That's Fridays around this place.
Yeah, it was a crazy business. And anyway, I took stories and I added some glitz and glamour, mixed in my life. I wrote a book of Sniff. I wrote a few books, but Sniff, the first one that came out November 1st, it's about a banker in the Middle East. He's living high on the hog. He's earning $6-8 million a year. Investment banker, owns his own business. The world's great. Married to the woman of his dreams, has the kid, has the Swiss chateau in the mountains in Switzerland, has the apartment in London, the whole deal, has everything. Life is great. Markets crash. He finds out that his wife has a terminal disease.
Wow.
At the same time, the markets crash. His life falls down around him. He gets addicted to some drugs, trying to speed, trying to stay up around the clock, looking for that miracle to save his wife. The speed turns into a heroin addiction, which turns into moving to the United States and robbing banks in Palm Beach County, Florida, South Florida, and gets caught. And robbing these banks to support the wife's cancer treatment and not his drug habit. And anyway, he winds up robbing some banks. It's a fun ride. It takes you all over the Middle East. It takes you to America, brings you back to the States, takes you to Egypt, takes you to Paris. It takes you all over the place. A great read. We're getting great responses. It's on Amazon now. I walked out of prison luckily enough to a 7-book publishing deal. Doesn't happen very often. And boy, I'm living it now. The sniff we're getting great. I can't talk enough about it. It's amazing. Great reads. We've garnered some attention already from Hollywood. Of course, they got it months before everybody else did, but there's some major things being talked about.
Got to get those movie options.
Yeah, got to get the movie options.
Those pay pretty good.
Yeah, we're hoping so. So while I was in prison, I told you some of the characters I ran across. Some of for the UpCup Coffee side of things. I've always been kind of a health nut my whole life. And while in prison and surrounded by some of these billionaires and millionaires and professional athletes and the guys that really had it out there in the world, some of these guys were taking $10,000, $12,000 a month worth of vitamins, which is just when it sounds like it's ludicrous to think about stuff like that. But guys are pumping hundreds of thousands of dollars into their bodies per year. The guys that can afford it, trying to live longer, live with more energy, be more sustainable, more relevant, the whole deal.
There's a guy who's doing that, who's just $2 million a year. I don't know if you've seen the videos of him, but it's pretty crazy, and he looks pretty sickly. But I don't know if it works.
Yeah, they live forever, but they're a beanpole, and a lot of them don't look happy that they're living this lifestyle.
He looks miserable. I'm not even sure he's getting laid. I mean, he looks like anemic, and his skin tone and stuff. But he's in good shape. He's skinnier than me, so maybe he will live longer. But yeah, the running joke is they'll probably get hit by a bus next week, and they'll be all in pain.
Or not get laid and be miserable. I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, he just looks miserable. And I mean, when you're getting blood infusions from your own son, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we've gone too far.
The whole thing's, I don't, who am I to judge? He'll probably live to 150, and he'll be pissing on my grave or something. But yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. We've had. I can just see the visual now of him pissing. What'd you say about me on that podcast, boy?
Who was that prick you were with?
Little stupid podcast in your who's live now, bitch? Yeah, that's what it'll be. That'll be all my exes. Anyway, it'll definitely be the exes peeing on my grave, which is hard to do for women, but they'll still, I'm sure, pull it off just in spite. Remember that time you didn't put the toilet seat down? Anyway, the horrors of my relationships are to that fathom. But what was the question I was leading up to? There was something I had and I lost it in the brain fog.
We have a topic for that.
Yeah, the UpCup Coffee. See, this is what we're doing. We're creating. It's kind of like those movies where the commercials where the girl goes, "Oh, I have an awful headache," and you're like, "Oh, but here's Folgers crystals. Snort them, and everything will be fine." We all do that. Is it just me?
No, it's you.
It's just me. So, the thing I was leading into is you mentioned the green room. You've only been 1 year, 365 days out of jail. Is that correct?
300. Yes, the 23rd. I went in June 15th, the Monday after Father's Day, 2007. I came out of prison November 23rd of 23, which is 367 days ago, 368 days ago. So it's been only a year, and all this is happening.
And remind us again how much you've accomplished in a year. I mean, you've done a lot of things in the last year.
I have. So I came out, like I said, to a publishing deal. I've got 2 different series going right now.
And it was a 7-book deal,
7 books, yep. 2 different series, 7 books. I came out to, I'm married for the first time in my entire life. I'm the guy that said I would never do it. I walked the aisle. I married my best friend, as cliche as that sounds. I wrote my love story in prison, and I'm currently living it. And what I wrote in prison, going back and forth with emails to her in a joking manner, I said, how cool would it be to have some kids? And how cool would it be to have a couple twins? And lo and behold, I've spoken into existence. We have identical twin boys that tomorrow, it's crazy. Tomorrow,
you've been busy when you got out of
immediately.
There's
book
9
series,
months in there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere, just barely. So there's a couple of series. There's the brand new identical twin boys, 17 weeks on Friday.
Oh.
There's the launching of the UpCup Coffee. There's some other things going on that we're involved with, and just living life. I can't believe it's been 365 days.
Yeah. And before you went to prison, you were super entrepreneurial too, as well. I mean, this is a thing.
I was running 3 different companies on 3 different continents all at the same time, and I could have been better at paying Uncle Sam. I wasn't, which most kids at that age making that kind of money, living in the city I was living, taxes and Uncle Sam weren't really at the forefront of my thoughts. And neither was understanding the plea. They said that I did things that I didn't do. I fought them. I should have just taken a plea on the taxes and been done. I fought them, and this government prints their own money and has won a couple of world wars. 97% conviction rate.
The feds don't usually bring a case. We've had a lot of people from the Justice Department on, and they usually don't put a case down unless they've got it in lockdown. They have a success rate of like 97%.
97%. But let me ask you this, and I know we're getting sidetracked. Let me ask you this: 97% conviction rate. This is the same government that can't get your mail delivered to you on time. I mean, do you see where I'm going with this? Do any of us really? And we are. It's not like this is a couple of cases that they fought and won and not have that conviction rate. We lead the entire world in incarceration. Yeah. So we're all agreeing that the government has a 97% conviction rate of millions of cases.
Yeah.
I mean, do we really think our government is correct 97% of the time? It's not. And I've heard people say that, once the feds get you, it's pretty locked and tight. It's not. It's a story that they've created. Mm-hmm. They bend the facts to fit their narrative. They don't care if you're innocent or not. They care about a conviction, and they care about that 97% conviction rate. They will do whatever they need to do. There are no rules. There are no lines that they have to stay in. It's unfortunate. I'm not saying I was innocent. I was innocent of what they claimed I did, but I did other things, and that other stupid things as a young guy in a big city making way too much money. I did some of them immoral stuff.
Now you're back to, what do they call it? Repaying society for whatever. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I paid it 16 years. I mean, still owe.
16 years you did. Yeah. I think it's great that you're breaking that recidivism cycle that many people that come out of prison have, and I think you're doing a good example. One of my friends she had some drug problems. She grew up with drug problems and trauma, I think, from childhood, and a lot of that was resolved. It didn't help that I believe she had a father who was a pharmacist who also had drug problems, and he got her started in his drug problems, and because he was a pharmacist, he had access to stuff. So finally, in and out of prison and jail with her and her drug problems, she finally turned her life around. And then one of the things she started was an employee leasing company that helps people when they come out of prison to get placement for jobs, and she retrains them and everything. So her experience from prison is she's now helping other people, and I just think it's great when people are successful coming out of prison, and they can find a new life, because there's a lot that go back.
And they don't do anything. On a side note, they don't do anything to help you in there. There is no. They help you and they reinvent you. It's either you get up and do it yourself, or you go back and do the same. And that's why the recidivism rate is at 80%. It's not because people don't want to change their lives. They're stuck in a meat freezer and, hey, hang out here for 200 months and good luck when you get out. And they kick you out the door and hope that you do better. They don't teach anything while you're there. It's
the prison industrial complex. I mean, it's an industry into itself, and it's really, its job is to suck you back in. I've had friends that have,
it's a money grab.
And you can sneeze and you can get banged back by your parole agent, and they want that, know. Anyway, different podcast probably for some of this stuff, but I just think it's inspiring what you're doing, so I wanted to highlight that. The UpCup Coffee, tell us about that. What ventured you into that and all that good stuff?
Okay, so no, you can't. You can't mix the title of the book and then the coffee together. So, like I was saying, I was in prison with all these guys, some big time guys, like I said, that were 10, 12, 13, 14,000 a month in additives and vitamins and trying to stretch life as far as they could. So I'm kind of a research guy, and there is no research in prison outside of talking to people. So I came out of prison after talking to all these guys and the doctors and stuff, they're all there too. I came out with a list of things, additives that I was going to take when I got home. And some of them, which the main three was Shilajit, which has been around for 4,000 years. It's a natural substance. It's found in the Himalayas. It's been used in medicine for 4,000 years. It's an energy enhancement. It supports cognitive and brain function. It's an antioxidant. It balances your metabolism for the weight control. It does everything. And it really is amazing. I started taking that. I was also taking some NAD+, which is the anti-aging stuff. It plays a key role in improving your energy metabolism, your cognitive function again, your overall well-being. Supports energy production, the DNA repair, the health, aging, all of that. Also amazing. And the last one was the lion's mane, the big one. Everybody's talking about these mushrooms now, the healthy mushrooms, not the others, not the psychedelic ones.
We had a guy on yesterday for the psychedelic ones. He runs retreats in Denver. Yeah,
that's starting to become mainstream too. The microdosing of some of the psychedelics.
Yeah, legalization. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's coming. Anyway, so lion's mane mushroom, it's amazing. It's one of the biggest mushrooms out there they're talking about right now. I think it's searched some 300,000 times a month right now just on Amazon, TikTok, and the Instagrams, and they put it at the forefront of society now. But again, that's a cognitive function, memory enhancement again, anti-inflammatory, immune support, nerve regeneration, growth and repair, the whole deal. So anyway, I get these additives at home, and I start taking them. Mm-hmm. But they're terrible tasting. They're a lion's mane mushroom. It tastes like you licked the back of a wet tree. I was doing the mushroom coffees, and I was trying one after another, and all of them. I had bags sitting in my pantry. I take out one cup of this stuff and choke it down. And what in the world why this is good for you? How can this be good for you? So I was taking these things, and I continued to do it. And the Shilajit, like I said, it's a tar. I was putting it on the back of my tongue.
Yeah, I do it every day.
Yeah, so that stuff has a terrible taste. So what I've doing,
gotten used to it though.
Yeah, you get used to it, and your body actually gets used to it. You stop the burping up, and anyway,
it's tar.
I was burying those three things into my coffee every morning. It's the only way I could do the taste into my mushroom coffee. Just put it in there, slamming it at the sink, and then brushing my teeth afterwards, and just done for the day. At that time, I was in the middle of setting up a drop ship company with ex-felon, also one of my cellmates, Alex Diaz. We were in the middle of setting up a business that we had talked about 10 years earlier. We didn't know what, but we knew we were going to do something when I got out. He got out 10 years earlier than me. He was my cellmate for 4.5 years, something like that. We agreed we were going to do something. So we're talking on the phone every morning, setting up this drop ship, and what are we going to sell? We talked about the hats, the pins, the coffee mugs, anything just to get going. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, we're both making fun of each other and all the different additives that we're both taking, the different ways where stand on one leg and take this and try turmeric mixed with onion powder and all kinds of different things. And yeah, it's just craziness, this for that and that for this, the whole deal, laughing and playing. And one of us says, we should just come up with our own mushroom coffee.
Yeah.
And that turned into immediate, let's go. I'm a business guy, an entrepreneur. I've done everything. Immediately, bells and whistles started going off on my head. Listen, it doesn't even got to taste good. All of this stuff that's out there is terrible. It doesn't even have to taste good. I wasn't worried about the taste. Let's just mix this stuff in and get it out there. Mm-hmm. So we get about a month and a half down the road and getting this put together. And Alex comes in with the harebrained idea, hey, let's make it taste good. I'm like, why do we want to make it taste good? Nobody tastes good. Nobody's buying it, expecting it to taste good. Why would we do it? So that turned into him talking me into that, and he lines up a coffee expert out of California, mm-hmm. which turns into a team of chemists which turns into UpCup Koffee.
Oh.
Yeah, so while I'm doing all that, I was doing business with another Dr. William MacArthur, another cellmate from 14 years earlier. Let me preface this too. 16 years in prison. I took 5 people's information. That's the people that are in prison. I took 5 people's information when I left prison that I would go forward, do things with. I was comfortable bringing around my family, guys that I knew had made that change and would never go back. So it's limited the amount of people that I'm not, it's probably the wrong thing to say, but think like I do. There's not many people like that. Most guys are sitting around and just waiting for the next day to happen. I attacked it. I came out with a plan. These guys did the same thing. Dr. MacArthur, I was doing some real estate stuff with him on the side. So but he got his medical license back. He's actually a doctor. So Alex on one side, we were doing the drop ship, and Doc and I were going to do the real estate. They don't know each other. Only I know them. Mm-hmm. So I call Doc, Alex comes up with this harebrained idea. Hey, let's make this thing taste good. I happen to be calling Doc that morning on some real estate stuff and explained to him the first time about the mushroom coffee and about Alex and this. He says, hey, I'm doing some of the same stuff, the same additives. We got to talking. Long story short, I introduced them together. The 3 of us went forward and produced UpCup Koffee. It's made with a 100% Arabica bean sourced out of Colombia, which basically it's a fancy way of saying it's a single origin bean. There's no blending. It's not a hybrid, and it's considered the highest quality. What came back from the chemist, Chris, is an actual mushroom coffee with these other additives in it that actually tastes like a good cup of coffee. It doesn't taste like licking the back of a tree. It tastes amazing. So when we get
we probably shouldn't shame people who like licking the back of trees.
Right? Yeah, there are tree.
Might be a couple in the audience.
They're all out there.
Hey man, we've all done it. We've all licked a tree. I mean, every now and then we've had those nights.
Don't talk about it on air.
Yeah, we don't talk about it. It's like Fight Club. So I'm just teasing.
So anyway, we come up with this great tasting coffee, and then of course, nowhere to go. It's 3X Felons. I've got the book release coming up. No one's going to hand us money. It's a new idea. None of us have been in retail space before. We're thinking we bought our first order was 50 bags. We talked the coffee guy, the coffee distributor, into giving us 50 bags. I mean, it took a month and a half to convince this guy to give us the bags. No one wants to run a coffee mix for 50 bags. So we're thinking we're going to sell 1 bag at a time, 2 bags, 3 bags. Eventually we'll land on Wall Street or wherever we land. Eventually we're going to get to the point of a big deal.
Yeah.
So in walks my PR firm for the book, the Devin Blaine from the Blaine Group. She gets a hold of the coffee and she rushes us over to one of her longtime standing associates, who's is the largest distributor in all of North America and Canada. They fall in love with the coffee. We immediately see that we're going to need some funding. They're going to want more than 50 bags. How are we going to do this? Like I said, no one's willing to give us the money. Yeah. I have a brother who's been in corporate America his entire life, has always done the right thing, can manage to stretch a dime from here until he probably still has his first dime. This kid can save my younger brother by a couple of years. His name's Jimmy to me. This guy can stretch a budget out to, it's unbelievable. He's the type of guy that will wear the same t-shirt and hat for a week straight to save on laundry soap. He's going to save. Wow. He was taught this from corporate America. He's never been in trouble, always done the right thing. And he had a bank full of money. Thank God he saved. Everybody made fun of him for saving. Wow. I went to him and said, hey, listen, this is the deal we have. This is the coffee we have. We need you. We need somebody. He drove over to I'm in the middle of a funny story. So I was in the middle of trying to figure out, how do I pitch my brother? Him and I have never done business like that. I've always been the guy, the fast and the loose, and he's been tied up. Everything's perfect. No way I'm taking those kind of risks. I said to myself, how am I going to approach my brother and ask him? I knew he had it. By chance, he drove over 4.5 hours on a surprise on a Saturday, drove from Arizona to California on a surprise just to take me to lunch and turn around and go back while I'm in the middle of I'm on the computer typing the night before of how I'm going to approach him on this. He shows up, we go to lunch, I spill the beans. He literally next week drove his truck back out and with his retirement fund in the back, not physically, of course, not literally, but drove back out and funded UpCup Coffee. He's been our silent partner this whole time. He eventually will come on in 2025 as the CEO. And so I'm lucky enough to get to do UpCup with two of my cellmates, two of only 5 people I took information from, 2 of the best people that I know. I get to do it with them, and I get to do it with my absolutely amazing brother and his wife. Now, my wife, it's a family biz. It's been incredible. Incredible. Yeah.
And so tell us about some of the ingredients that are in here. And now this is launching on Black Friday. So if you guys are interested, how can they find it on Black Friday on Amazon?
You can go to our website. You can either go to Amazon and search UpCup Coffee, just like it sounds, coffee with a K, or you can go to our website, which is UpCup Coffee, again with the K.com, and you can see it there. It's true. It was not supposed to be released until Black Friday. We decided to open this website 10, 12 days ago and the Amazon just for a soft opening to make sure all the buttons worked, all the links worked, everything was like it should be. And we got a call from Amazon yesterday. We shipped inventory to them and for the Black Friday launch. We get a call from them yesterday. Hey, we're down to 16 units. We literally sold out all of, just from the different podcasts and some of my social media for the book, we were down to 16 units left. So we had to overnight some more inventory to Amazon. Thankfully, it'll be there on time, and the orders will go out beginning of next week. We're here already. But it's for sale. You can actually get it right now. The shelves are stocked there at Amazon.
So it's got the coffee. What do people get from benefits of drinking these mushrooms? Those who aren't familiar with the whole process there.
The lion's mane, the reason people are taking it and the reason mushroom coffee, let me tell you this really quick. So functional mushroom coffee last year did $2.3 billion in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
They're not there's no mushroom coffees on the shelf. This is all just e-commerce. That number is expected to grow to over $5 billion by 2030. Wow. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Now, coffee did $95 billion. Regular coffee did $95 billion last year. The functional mushroom coffee, people are just catching on to it. Imagine it's not on the shelves. We're going to be the first guys on the shelves because of who we signed the deal with. We'll be on your nationwide shelves, the Targets and the Walmarts and the Krogers and all that in 2025. But $2.3 billion last year was done over the internet. That's how popular these mushrooms have become.
Yeah.
It's insane. But the things that they do, the cognitive and the memory enhancement, it's unbelievable. It's the immune support. It's just, these mushrooms are in the forefront of everything right now. I firmly believe that they don't have the number right. And I'm not a Wall Street guy or anything like that, but I've been an entrepreneur since I'm 17. They did $2.3 billion, like I said, last year. It's expected to go to 30, and no one is talking about on shelves. They're talking about just off the internet. Like I said, we're going to be the first one. We'll be in Costco, Walmart, and BJ's at the end of 25. Oh, wow. Beginning of next year, Kroger's, Walmart, Target, Publix, Trader Joe's, everywhere. We'll be nationwide on shelves. So I think that number's wrong. I think they have that number wrong. I think it's growing faster than that just because of the benefits. People are raving about these mushrooms. And Chris, a lot of these guys that are making these mushroom coffees are putting just enough mushrooms in it to call it mushroom coffee. But they're not giving you, we put 250 milligrams of lion's mane mushroom in every cup. We have 250 milligrams of shilajit in every cup. There's 100 or 150 milligrams of the NAD. So these guys out there talking about, our coffee has mushrooms, our coffee has collagen, turn it over, look at the back of the bag and see how much they're actually giving you. See if it's the amount you're supposed to take on a daily basis. see what theirs tastes like. We ask you to go out and try other guys. All these bags of mushroom coffees, if you've looked, you know that they're 30, 35, 40, 45. Mudwater, I think, is up to $50 or $60 a bag now.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's
I was just looking at it on Amazon.
It's insane. And here's what we decided to do early on. All of us in the company, Jim included, and his wife, Marlene, we were trying these mushroom coffees. I lived with Jim and Marlene when I got out of prison. You have to be released to family. I was on an ankle monitor. So I was in one of their spare bedrooms. So I got Marlene, Jim's wife, hooked on the mushroom coffee. So her and I are trying stuff from all over the internet, and we're trying all these coffees, and we're taking a spoonful of these $30 and $40 bags and doing the first cup, and it's sitting on the shelves. Jimmy, the penny pincher, is coming in, looking at the pantry. What are you guys doing? There's mushroom coffee. Why are you guys buying more of this? Jim, it tastes like dirt. We want to find a good one. It tastes like dirt. So we decided to do an UpCup because we don't want people wasting another $30, $35, $40 on a bag of coffee. It's senseless. We put a $10, in fact, you'll see it right here. We put a 9-serving, $9.99 bag. I just knocked off the K-Cups. We put a $9.99 serving, or a 9-serving, $9.99 price tag on a trial size bag for you. Try it. If you don't like it, you've wasted $10, not $30.
Yeah.
It's a sealable bag. If you don't like it, give it to your neighbor. But I promise you, if you like coffee and you're interested in the Shilajit, and you're interested in the NAD, and you're interested in the Lion's Mane, and you're looking for energy without all that caffeine, without that dirty feeling, without that 15 cups a day to keep you going, without that crash, without the jitters, then you're going to love this coffee. You're going to love it.
You're going to love it.
Amazing.
Let's see, what else do we need to touch on for what you guys have here? Now, it sounds like it also comes in K-Cup. Is it brewed normally like traditional coffee? And I believe it's Italian coffee, correct?
It's an Italian medium blend, which doesn't mean anything. That's just the way they roast the bean. It is. So here's where we differ also. There's only one other mushroom coffee that we found on the market. But let me back up. We can all agree that instant coffee is just not good. Most instant coffee is terrible by itself. Yeah. The better cup of coffee is always the brewed coffee. Mm-hmm. So all of these foul-tasting, dirt-smelling mushroom coffees that are out there, and I'm not bad-mouthing people, it's just what it is. Try it. Check it out. There's $300 worth of coffee in there that the Blaine Group tried of all the different places to compare ours to. It is what it is. I forgot where I was going with the point. If you try it and you realize the instant coffee is not good and it doesn't taste good, we went ahead and did the brewed. We did an actual brewed cup of coffee. We hired a team of chemists. We spent a ton of money to get a brewed cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. So it's not instant. It tastes. It's a brewed cup. It's brewed. It's
you
just
brew it with your K-Cup, or you can brew it. Yeah.
You can brew it. It's coffee grounds. It's not a powder. It doesn't have. If you open a lot of these mushroom coffee bags, you'll see that the substance is foamy. It feels like the mushroom texture. You can tell when you open the bag and smell it. This is not going to be good. Open our bag. You don't even have to open a bag. Smell the outside of it. You smell it's real coffee. It's a real coffee bean.
What does it taste like coffee, or how would you describe the taste?
In fact, these right on the front here, no, we wouldn't put this on the front of our bag if we didn't mean it. Right on the front, tastes like a great cup of coffee. We're not going to take and put that out there and chance. Here's what we did with the website. A lot of these websites, you can go into your back end and you can choose to the reviews that you get. You can choose to, if somebody sends you a bad review, you can set your dials in the back of your website to only post 4s and up, 4s and 5s and 3s up. Post whatever you want. We didn't. Ours is open. If you get a bad review, we get a bad review. So we're not going to take a chance putting it tastes like a great cup of coffee on the front of our Rolls Royce bag and have it taste like crap, or have it taste like dirt, or have it taste like you licked the back of a tree. It's a great cup of coffee. We put it on the front of the bag. We left our comments open. The reviews are open. We post everything. You're going to see that you're going to see what people say.
You will find out. as it were.
You will find out.
Anything more we need to know about the coffee and what you're doing? Anything about making it, how it's distinctive from other brands on the market?
Just it is distinctive mostly because it's a brewed and it tastes good. The biggest thing is that most people that have tried, and when I say most, 9 out of 10 people that have tried mushroom coffees, they're going to tell you the same. Man, it's terrible, tastes terrible, but man, the benefits are out of this world. They're all going to tell you the same thing. Now, the other side of that is, hey, it tastes great, and hey, it does what it's supposed to do. We're three ex-felons that in prison, if you don't do what you say you're going to do and you don't live by your word, things are stuck in your ribs, blankets are over your head, you catch beatings, you get to the whole, you suffer. The three of us, and Jim being in corporate America, he's a VP at a public company, so he's kind of had to live by that too. We do what we say. We stand behind what we say because we know that can cost us. So the three of us, ex-felons, and Jim, we live and die by that. This coffee does exactly what I'm telling you it does. It's immediate. You feel it immediately. You don't, no jitters, no caffeine crash. No, you know, if you drink, I don't know if you're a coffee drinker or not. If you 3-4 cups, you know, at the end of the day, that sticky, that dirty kind of caffeine feeling from drinking all that coffee all day.
Oh, I do.
You absolutely will not have that. I will refund you your money personally out of my book proceeds if you can tell me that, hey, listen, I feel like crap after this coffee. It's just, I got the jitters. I got the caffeine crash. I got all the things you said I wouldn't get, GC. I got them. You get a hold of me and we can do it live. We can do it live. If you can honestly come back and say that, I'll refund you on your live podcast.
That sounds like a good deal. We'll try it. So where can people get this? It's launching on Amazon on Black Friday. You said it's kind of available now?
Yes, it's available now. Just go to Amazon, search UpCup Coffee. UpCup is one word. Obviously, coffee with a K.
Okay, coffee with a K.
Coffee with a K. UpCup Coffee with a K. And you can go to UpCup Coffee again with a K.com and you can find it there. Just search UpCup Coffee. We're all over the place. Like I said, it's a bunch of different retailers between now and the end of the year, e-commerce sites, and the beginning of next year. We got a mushroom container coming out. It's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got some cool things happening, but you're going to see us everywhere and starting in 2025.
Well, look forward to it and your next book where you can come back maybe in March. I think
that was
launched in 2025. What's the title of that book?
That one is Taken by Storm. Taken by Storm. It's a series set in South Florida detective series. Pretty cool. It hasn't been done yet. I actually won the Benjamin Franklin Award on the first book, but the publisher chose to come out with Sniff first. They think it's a cross between Hangover and Ocean's 11. And they think it's going to. There's talks with Netflix already, HBO already, and a movie. So Sniff is it's a wild ride. It's a fun ride. It's people are love it. Check out the reviews. The reviews are all over the place.
Crazy days. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. Give us the .coms as we go out, GC, of all the stuff.
GCBrownBooks.com for Sniff and all my other books. And check us out at all of the socials. GC Brown Books, GC Brown by itself. We're on 21 different platforms. The UpCup Coffee is UpCup Coffee with a K. We're also everywhere, 21 different platforms. You can search us on social media. You can find us on the website. I encourage everybody to check out the website and read our story. It's a pretty cool story. It reads like a novel. We had somebody tell us the other day, it brought tears to their eyes. Quick little short story about us, but you guys are going to love it. Chris, I love this show. It's the best one that I'm on. I love how loose and free you are. What a great platform. What a great platform.
We've done a show or two, so we're getting good at it a little bit.
It shows.
We're still working on getting good. I noticed on your website, too, gcbrownbooks.com, you have the cover art up for the Taken by Storm that's coming out. Yes. We're talking about March 2025. And you can read the first 4 chapters there, too, if you want. So check that out.
Both books.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So both books are available that way.
Yeah.
So check that out, folks. Thank you very much, GC, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Thank you for our audience for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss, one of the TikTok and all those crazy ass places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. And that should have us out.